Nah, that works for me. Hey guys, what's up? I just got back from Cinema Wasteland. It was a long day. $600 was spent, and got a lot of crap. So I guess I'll just dive right in. Michael Berryman was there, and Dee Wallace, two of the cast members from The Hills Have Eyes. Michael Berryman's the famous poster mutant, and I had both Michael Berryman and Dee Wallace sign my Blu-ray of The Hills Have Eyes, which will now sit on my shelf proudly. Alright, let me get into this first little stack of things here. This isn't really in any order. Last year I tried to keep it in order when I got stuff, but now it's just a jumbled mess, so this is going to be random as hell. I went to J.R. Bookwelder, I think? J.R. Bookwelder, his booth, because I saw he had copies of Robot Ninja, and I was like, oh, I like Robot Ninja. So I got a couple other movies, because I was just like, it's 3 for like 30, I think, so whatever. I got Ozone, which I haven't seen, but I hear this is an interesting kind of zombie film. I got Sandman, which I have seen. This one's bad, but it's kind of decent. It's got some interesting elements and kind of cool atmosphere. And the one I came to the booth specifically to get is Robot Ninja, which he autographed for me. Robot Ninja is a really crazy, dark, violent, like 16 millimeter a vigilante film that I think is really good. And he also had old VHS slips of some of his older movies that he didn't have. That he didn't have the tapes for, but he had the slips. So I bought the slip for Zombie Cop because I like the cover art for Zombie Cop, despite its cheesy look. And I asked him to sign that one as well. I went to the Diabolic DVD booth, and this is like I think the only thing I bought from there. But it's the Mondo Vision Blu-ray of Possession, which I've been wanting to get my hands on this for a while. It's a very, very nice Blu-ray release. But anytime I would look online to find it, I would see it for like 50, 60 bucks, sometimes upwards of 70. And it was only 40, and they had a huge stack of them on the table, and I figured, why the hell not? I like the Possession. I like Possession enough. Just get this first kind of stack out of the bag. God damn. This is a mess. Okay. Stopped at James Bell's booth. I own every James Bell film except for Dog Dick, so I got his film Dog Dick, which this is like one of the last gore editions he's doing of Dog Dick, so that's cool. Went to Henrik Kuto's booth, which he said that he said on Facebook that he only brought 20 copies of this film with him, and I was very worried that I wouldn't get a copy, and I was pretty much sure I wouldn't get one. And as soon as I walked up to the booth, he said, "Hey man, you made it, and look what you..." And I was like, "Oh man, sweet stuff, copies." And it's the Devil's Trail, which was his film from late last year that I put on my best of the year list, and it's a really entertaining kind of found footage film. This one, I think this is yeah. I got this bootleg. This is like the only bootleg I bought because it was only 10 bucks, and I figured why not? I kind of like this movie. It's Dr. Gore, also known as The Body Shop. I reviewed this one on my channel, and this one is out of print as hell. So this bootleg is actually half decent looking. At least the slipcover is. I got this. I found it for like 10 bucks, and I couldn't say no because this film is like. I'll be honest, I've never seen this film online. As far as I know, I haven't really looked around much, but it's the Shaw Brothers Black Magic, which I watched this one on Amazon Prime, and this movie is this is an amazing piece of like 70s Hong Kong black magic horror. It's very entertaining and very interesting. Next, I got some stuff from Synapse. I think that's all the stuff I got, this is all the stuff I got from Synapse. Okay, good. Went up to the booth. I got Blue Sunshine because it was only $20, and it's like the limited DVD edition that I again, this is another one that like I couldn't. Last I checked, this wasn't on Amazon or anything, so I figured why not. It comes with a soundtrack. Don't remember liking Blue Sunshine too much, but I watched it way back when. I wasn't really into the atmosphere, and I was more just into it for the gore. So I'll have to give this one a rewatch. Got Rock and Roll Nightmare. Watched this one earlier this year. Rock and Roll Nightmare, very entertaining, kind of haunted house demon horror film, starring this rock star, John Milk Thor. It's cheesy as hell, and it's just hilarious from beginning to end. And the soundtrack is a surprisingly, like, amazingly bad kind of hair metal soundtrack. You know, which completely forgot Synapse had the rights to this. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta grab that. Another one I got from Synapse, which this actually isn't released by them. I think this is released by Cult Movie Mania. It's Marcus Cook's first film, Rot, that he shot in like 16mm when he was, or 8mm when he was younger. I think this might be shot on video actually. I don't know, but this is a pretty entertaining little kind of zombie film, I guess, where a chick fucks a corpse and gets an STD and she turns into a zombie. Oh, that's why. That's why. Got Manos, The Hands of Fate, which the actress who portrayed Debbie, the little girl, she was actually there at the convention. And I got her to sign it for me, which she was very, very nice, very, very sweet lady. And I went to a screening of Manos that was also going on there. And there was a panel with her before the screening started, and you know, she talked about the film, and I learned some things about the film that I'd never really read about online or anything. And yeah, let me tell you, watching Manos, The Hands of Fate with a room full of people who are into bad movies is, like, hilarious. Because it was just literally, like, us laughing at every little thing and just, like, cracking jokes. Like, it was just like doing your own riff tracks, practically. And it was very, very fun. This is the restored version of the film, which is the best version you could probably get out there. We're on to almost the final stretch. Got a bunch of shit from Vinegar Syndrome this year, because there were a lot of titles from them I wanted to get my hands on. I got their new limited edition thing. It's the 5 films 5-year anniversary kind of collection. It's got like 5. There's two different ones of these. There's the exploitation and horror, and then there's the sex exploitation and like erotic films, and I don't really care about that, so I got the horror one. This is like the 5th anniversary celebration. Essentially, you know, 5 random films that they happen to have that they don't really want to do full-on releases for, so they just kind of release them. Let's see, we got the Monthers, which, let's see, the Monthers is a dangerous attempt to rescue an inmate from an all-female prison. Okay, so we got Women in Prison film. We got Flesh and Bullets, a confusing film from a confusing filmography. An 80s bizarre updating of Strangers on a Train features the likes of Yvonne DiCarlo and Cesar Romero acting alongside Mai Lin. So the sad life of a vice cop who begins an illicit affair with a beautiful prostitute, only to discover she's underage, sending him into a downward spiral of corruption and violence. Dungeon of Horror, this Texas-made 16mm obscurity directed by comic artist Pat Bonnet, is a contentious tribute to early 60s gothic horror films, as a shipwrecked sailor finds himself trapped in a castle populated by bloodthirsty nobility. Murder on the Emerald Seas. This is the directorial debut of Alan Orsby. An oddball murder mystery focuses on a series of mysterious deaths surrounding the beauty Beauty patent prompting the lead detective to go undercover and investigate in drag. This this was like $15. I couldn't say no. Got Raw Force for $10. This is a really entertaining kung fu zombie action sexploitation film. I don't know how to describe this movie. It's everything that like a 12-year-old would want in a movie. Horror House on Highway 5. I actually really like this one. This one I think is not as bad as people make it out to be, and I wanted to get the Blu-ray, so why not? The Undertaker, starring Joe Spinell. This is like Joe Spinell's other slasher film, other than Maniac and the last horror film. This is his like other one. This is one of his last films he made before he died. And this one had been released multiple times, and it was like a completely butchered cut. The scenes were out of order and everything. And apparently this is like a completely re-edited in order version of the film that is the proper director's cut, which is very good because I've been wanting to see this one for a while. I got The Human Tornado, which is the second Dolomite film. I've seen this one before. This is very good stuff. I like the Dolomite movies, so I'm happy I got the second one. I got Psycho Cop Returns, which I've never seen Psycho Cop Returns. I've only seen the first Psycho Cop, but I like the first Psycho Cop, and I hear this one is really pretty entertaining, a bit more fun. And on the back, it's a limited edition, limited to 1,666 copies for the slipcover, that is. I got a Demon Wind, which comes with this cool lenticular slip, which I'm pretty sure this lenticular slip is, yep, it's 3,000, limited to 3,000. This is a weird kind of Evil Dead ripoff that's absolutely amazing, and I kind of love it. Got Psychos in Love. This is a really interesting kind of low-budget horror comedy romance about two serial killers who fall in love, and there's something that they commonly agree on that like brings them together is the fact that they absolutely hate grapes. It's absurd as hell. And the last thing I got from Vinegar is this is one of their sets that I've been like looking at and wanting to get my hands on for a while. It's the Bizarre Art Theater, and they have like one that's like, apparently these are like weird horror occult themed like porno sexploitation films, and it's got Come Deadly, Daughters of Darkness, Dr. Sexual, Mr. Hyde, The Geek, Hotter Than Hell, House of Desaad, Mania, The Rites of Uranus, The Scorpion, The Sorceress, The Unholy Child, and The Waltz of the Bat. And finally, we got the, oh yeah, I forgot this. It's a pin I got from the Manos actress. It's 50 years of Manos, and, you know, just a little kind of cool enamel pin that I thought would be cool to own. Next, we got the Synapse stuff, which nothing too amazing here. I mainly bought everything I bought here. I've actually seen except for the last title. I got Wild Beasts. This is a pretty entertaining movie where PCP gets leaked into the water supply of a city, and it causes these animals at a zoo to go crazy and start killing people. I got Turkey Shoot. This is a weird Australian exploitation film that's really violent and crazy, and it's essentially like a dystopian society, and people are hunted down like animals. I got two nunsploitation films. They're two newer releases. Dark Waters, which this one I watched just the other night. This is a pretty interesting kind of art house-esque kind of horror, almost Lovecraftian in a way. It's very, very interesting. Got the other Hell, which is the other one that they released, the other nunsploitation film. This one's directed by Bruno Mattei, who directed Rats: The Night of Terror, which is a great one, and what was the other one? Hell of the Living Dead, which was also really entertaining. I got Threads because I hate myself and I want to become horrifically depressed. Also because this is the new, finally a North American release of Threads. And I got Eaten Alive, which is a cannibal film. I'm pretty sure this is one of the earlier cannibal films that came before Cannibal Holocaust. And I think this actually might be the one that, like, one of the early ones that started the cannibal genre, you know, started it out, but it didn't really get big until Cannibal Holocaust. And for those who stuck around to the end, I've got a couple things. These aren't things I got at Cinema Wasteland. These are things I bought in my spare time with what little spare money I've had in the past, like, month, and I just didn't want to just show them in a video because this wasn't enough stuff. The fucking Donald Farmer's Cannibal Hookers. Hilariously fucking awful movie. Been waiting a long time to see this one, and I was not disappointed. Shot on video, low budget, stupid, not for anybody who's into serious stuff. Death Wish, don't need to say much about Death Wish. This is a classic Bronson. And the Iron Maiden album, Number of the Beast, which this is one of my favorite Maiden albums, although I probably have to say my favorite is Power Slave, but that's, like, widely considered to be their best. And I got a vinyl album. I have the Dead Kennedys, Give Me Convenience or Give Me Death, which this is one of my favorite Dead Kennedys albums. It's got such classics as Too Drunk to Fuck, Night of the Living Rednecks, let's see, Saturday Night Holocaust, and Kinky Sex Makes the World Go Round. Those are a few gems off this album. Really good stuff. But yeah, that's actually it for this haul from Cinema Wasteland and that little bit of Blu-ray DVD update. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace.